Is that a fighting arena of some sort? I don't see any demons around.
Look! There's something spewing out of the middle!
I sense a really malicious force emanating from it.
It's probably the vengeful spirits of those who fought and died here looking for glory!
Thanks for that. Now I've got goosebumps.
Let's try not to wind up as more vengeful spirits.
We can do this! Take that! Devour! Take that! Rising Falcon! Take that! Rising Falcon! Take that! Take that! Ride Thunder! Rising Falcon! Moonlight Cycle! Take that! Marvel Mob! Ride Thunder! Now take that! Rising Falcon! Take that! Fire Mine! Take that! Cerberus Wave! Cerberus Wave! Take that! Cerberus Wave! Take that! Rising Falcon! Take that! Rising Falcon! Take that! Devour! Better watch your step! Rockmore! Take that! Absorber! Take that! Devour! Take that! Hero! Take that! Take that! Devour! Take that! Next! Take that! Rising Falcon! Take that! Rising Falcon! No mercy! You thought I'd stop there? Annihilating crash! That all you can get at the darkness! Devour! Crimson Servant! Take that! Devour! Rising Falcon! Take that! Devour! That all you got? Take that! Rising Falcon! Take that! Rising Falcon! Rising Falcon! Take that! Take that! Take that! Devour! Take that! Blast away the shadows of darkness!
I refuse to fall here! Looks like we won't be joining the party.
I can see why this place is the stuff of cautionary bedtime stories.
Not to mention why the Abbey's keeping way the hell away.
We shouldn't let our guard down. But this place could still be a good chance to hone our combat skills.
Indeed. Most everything we fought here seems to follow a pattern. This is a good place for tactical training.
If we ever end up on another island like this one, we should probably come prepared for the kinds of enemies we'll face. It's too bad that wasn't the real Ifreed. But I'm glad everyone on the ship is feeling better.
Yeah. Though it sounds like they never want to touch that Salatoma stuff ever again.
What about Eleanor?
She took it too, and her face went all wah!
I don't mean how she looked. I mean how she actually feels.
Oh, well, she looks like she feels better too.
Good.
You're worried about her, aren't you, Velvet?
No, it's nothing like that.
Let me tell you something, kiddo. When young maidens ripen, they have trouble expressing their feelings.
So Velvet's... ripen?
Magilu! Quit giving Laphicet confusing thoughts!
No trouble expressing those feelings, I see.
The Abbey is supposed to exist to bring peace and order to the world. Everything the Abbey does, everything Lord Melchior and Shepherd Artorius do, it ought to be rooted in that mission. And yet, something just doesn't feel right here.
You are dismissed. That knowledge is not for you.
Something wrong? Whoa! Easy there. Just asking.
Sorry. I was just deep in thought. Is there something you need from me?
Nah. Just heard a bunch of sighs and wondered if you were feeling sick or anything.
No, I drank my Salatoma juice.
Ah. Tasted like crap, didn't it?
It wasn't that bad.
Hey,
What?
are you afraid of demons?
No, I am not. It's more like I despise them. 10 years ago, a group of them attacked my village. They destroyed everything. And everyone.
Including your family?
Yes. The only family I had at that point was my mother. And in all the chaos, she... All I have left of her is this hand mirror she gave me. I didn't want anyone else to have to feel the way I did. And so I became an exorcist in order to destroy demons. So you can keep your pity.
Gotcha. I will then.
What is that?
That's called a pangyon, a type of bird native to this area.
Pangyon.
Their meat is succulent and tender, and makes a lovely stew.
Wow, what's it taste like?
You'd eat that poor thing? Savage.
You're one to talk, demon. It was one of my mother's specialties.
All right, enough of the chit-chat. Magilu, what's this grimoire friend of yours like?
Well, how do I put it? Oh. You know, like that.
Like what?
Well, to put it in a way those of meager imagination can understand, Grimm's got a sort of listless, aristocratic air about her. A noblewoman in her twilight, you could say.
Huh. So you mean, like, a woman, but different from Velvet and Eleanor.
You're not wrong there. Tell you what, just keep an eye out for a grown woman.
Grown woman. Okay, I got it.
Well, since we got her name, we could start by asking around.
Exactly. Now you're talking. What's up, kiddo?
Magilu,
You're a grown woman yourself. So why is it you have trouble clearly expressing your real feelings?
Good question. Put simply, a long time ago, mine broke. Bagow! Chapoom! Bye-bye!
Your feelings broke?
Come on. Let's question the townsfolk.
So how do you like our island? Nice and laid back, right?
It's quite a bit different from Logris.
This place was even more relaxed before the opening. But recently, a lot of our young folk have gone starry-eyed about the city and left us in the lurch.
It's still better than it was when the demons first started showing up. We have the Abbey to thank for that. And because people are traveling more now, the need for ships has skyrocketed. Our lumber industry is booming.
In other words, when the money started flowing, people let it go to their heads?
That and those exorcists and soldiers from the bigger cities, they really seemed sophisticated. People from the other islands wear different clothes and have things we don't, you know?
Getting worked up and worked over by what's trendy. Is that foolishness not the very definition of youth?
If this keeps up, our island's traditions will fade away. That's what worries me.
I understand how you feel, but you have to give young people the freedom to be themselves.
From the harbor. Today our entire stock is half off. By now, you should have a chance. Caught just this morning. Feels like this won't last forever. Get your seafood here.
It's become common practice to use Southgan lumber for shipbuilding, but there's a reason. Our trees really are the best for it.
Natant trees only grow in Southgand. Their wood is light, tough, and doesn't rot. Perfect for shipbuilding.
You know your stuff. Long ago, before people knew how to build seafaring vessels, Midgan and Southgan were separate countries. Then our ancestors fashioned rafts out of Natant logs and floated all the way to Midgand. A Midgand craftsman, amazed to see a humble raft cross the open sea, returned with our ancestors here to Southgand.
He had used the Natant logs to build a large, sturdy ship.
Thanks to him, commerce took off between Midgand and Southgand, and the Age of Exploration began. The excitement of a new age had everyone floating on air, but within mere decades, Midgand declared war on Southgand.
Ironically enough, it was ships made from trees from their islands that enemies used to invade them.
The fighting continued for a long time, but in the end, Midgand emerged the victor. Our islands were occupied. As hard as things were, our ancestors still liked to joke about it. They'd say, Age of Exploration, more like Age of Exploitation.
When things were that bad, they could still joke about it?
Southganders have always been a cheerful bunch. We tend to look for the silver lining in every cloud. It may not seem like it these days, but Southgand used to be a place where the laughter would never cease. Some people even used to call it Shenanigand.
Shenanigand. This must have been a really fun place.